Did you know that you could support a worthwhile charity just by purchasing a postage stamp? Join me for this episode of Snail Mail with Smokey as we discuss semi-postals. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Snail Mail with Smokey. I'm Smokey. Today I'd like to speak to you about semi-postal stamps. Semi-postal stamps are offered for sale by the United States Postal Service. These stamps are on sale for 75 cents a piece versus the 60 cents a piece, which is the current first-class stamp rate. These fundraising or semi-postal stamps allow for citizens to support worthwhile charitable organizations just by purchasing a postage stamp. The price of a semi-postal stamp pays for the first-class single-piece postage rate that is in effect at the time of the purchase, plus an additional amount to fund causes that have been determined to be in the national public interest. Currently, there are 4 semi-postal stamps available for purchase through the United States Postal Service. The first is this stamp here. This is the Breast Cancer Research Stamp. The Breast Cancer Research Semi-Postal Stamp was issued July 29, 1998 in Washington, D.C. As of November 2022, more than 1.1 billion breast cancer research stamps have been sold, bringing the total revenue raised to more than $95.5 million. Stamp artist Whitney Sherman of Baltimore, Maryland, worked under the direction of art director Ethel Kessler of Bethesda, Maryland, to create this stamp design. The stamp art depicts a woman standing with her right arm raised. The drawing of a woman's body is set against a background of pastel colors ranging from yellow to violet that cover the entire face of the stamp. Across the top of the stamp are the words breast cancer. Circling the figure's right breast are the words in all caps, fund the fight and find a cure. The next semi-postal stamp available is the Save the Vanishing Species stamp. The Save the Vanishing Species semi-postal stamp was issued September 20th, 2011 in Louisville, Kentucky. At the end of November 2022, more than 60.1 million Save the Vanishing Species stamps have been sold. This brings the total revenue raised to more than $7.2 million. By law, 100% of the net amount raised is transferred to the United States Fish and Wildlife Service to support the multinational species conservation funds. Stamp artist Nancy Stahl of New York, worked under the direction of art director Derry Knowles of Washington, D.C. to create this stamp design. This compelling image of an armored tiger cub symbolizes all the endangered wildlife that this stamp will help protect. Funds from the stamp will be divided between grant programs for the conservation of African and Asian elephants, great apes, marine turtles, rhinos, and tigers. The third semi-postal stamp available for purchase is this stamp here. This is Healing PTSD stamp. With this semi-postal stamp, the United States Postal Service will raise funds to help treat those impacted by post-traumatic stress disorder. Tens of millions of Americans will experience PTSD in their lifetimes. And today, the United States is increasingly dedicated to compassionately treating this mental health issue. This stamp features Mark Lada's photo illustration of a green plant sprouting from the ground, which is covered in fallen leaves. The image is intended to symbolize the PTSD healing process, growth, and hope. The Healing PTSD Semi-Postal was issued December 2nd, 2019 in Charlotte, North Carolina. As of November 2022, more than 15.8 million Healing PTSD stamps have been sold, bringing the total revenue raised to more than $1.7 million. The title of the stamp, Healing PTSD, appears at the top of the stamp. A second, smaller text centered along the bottom of the stamp shows the plus sign that indicates this is a semi-postal stamp followed by the words First Class, USA. The fourth and final semi-postal stamp available for purchase through the United States Postal Service is the Alzheimer's stamp. The Alzheimer's semi-postal was issued November 30th, 2017 in Baltimore, Maryland. The stamp was withdrawn for sale on January 30th, 2019 in accordance with rules set forth in the Federal Register. But under a revision to the original program structure, the Alzheimer's semi-postal resumed sale on October 5th, 2020. As of November 2022, more than 10.4 million Alzheimer's stamps have been sold, bringing the total revenue raised to more than $1.3 million. The artwork for this stamp is an illustration that first appeared on the 42-cent Alzheimer's stamp that was issued in 2008. It shows an elderly woman in profile with a caring hand on her shoulder, with a suggestion of sunlight behind her and clouds in front of her and below her. On the 2008 stamp, she is facing left. The artwork for this current stamp now shows her facing right. I hope you've enjoyed this look into semi-postal stamps. And next time you're at your local post office, why not pick up a sheet or two and support a worthwhile charitable cause? Well, that's it for this episode of Snail Mail with Smokey. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and comment. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to this channel. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.